Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be doing a tutorial on Calvin's I cube. So this is a 3x3x5 variation where only it's got one thing, so it turns like this, and then you bandage layers. So I am going to go through and teach you guys how to do it. It's pretty easy, but it's tricky to wrap your mind around. So I'm going to show you how you need to scramble these two layers first. So what I like to do is I like to slice one over and then do like a T permutation or something like that. And that kind of puts things out of orbit, so when you go like this, they're not together. I'll come over here and do like a V perm. And now you can see nothing's in, or this one's in, so I'm gonna go here, and then I'm going to do like swap these pieces here. So that's R2U, R2U, R2 to U, R2 to U, R2U, R2 U prime R2. You don't have to do that. You can you can scramble these up however you want. So now I'm going to do a corner swap, and I will be going through all of these algorithms, and they will be in the description as well. So now that I think that I've got a pretty sufficient scramble, let's move this one here. So let's try one more. So now you can see nothing is aligned. This is aligned, but that's okay. So is that's all right. So now you can go ahead and scramble like a 3x3. All right, so this is the scrambled I cube. Now we're going to start with a 3x3 solve, and you can see one of the centers pokes out, and that's the top layer where these two are put together. So I do the opposite one. So you might have a different color scheme. So I have orange, so I do the red one first. Here there's one piece already in, so I align that with blue. Look for more red pieces. Here's one here. Put it in. This is standard 3x3 stuff. If you don't know how to solve a 3x3, then you should learn that before this puzzle for sure. And here's the last one, so we can put that in. So you can put your cross in however you want, beginner's method or not, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go through F2L because the main point of this tutorial is the top two layers. So here I've got red, white, and blue. So here's the white, so I'm just going to do F2L, put them in the back. So I've put that in. Now we look for another red corner. So we can take this out because we've got these two here. And put those in. Here we have yellow and green, so that's this one here. Match them up. Put them in. Here is yellow and blue, which is right here. All right, so now at this point, we have done the first two layers, and we are looking at our top layer. We need to orient all these pieces. So I know, a lot of the OLLs, not all of them, so I recognize this. This is a T case, and basically what you would do is you look at what's facing upwards, and that would be like your top color, and all these ones are out. So this is just a quick T case. It's very, very easy, and that has solved this. I'm going to go through a few different examples of these top layers, so I am going to just solve this the way it is. So the first thing I look for is headlights, but in this case, if I do the headlights, I look for them, I put them on the left, and I do my corner swap, but that's also going to swap these. So what's going to happen is we're going to have all of the top corners oriented, but not these ones. So in this case, I want to do an algorithm that will take two of these out and keep two of these. So if you need to do that, and you've got 4 in and 2 in on the top one, or the other way around, you put the two that are done in the back, and then you do the corner swap algorithm, and it'll maintain 2 here, and it'll put 2 in here. So the algorithm is R2 U, R2 U prime, R2 U prime D, R2 U prime, R2 U, R2, and then you can realign the bottom. Now you can see that we've got headlights here. It did switch the headlights, but it still keeps headlights, and now we have headlights here. So if we align them like this, now you can see that these two need to be swapped. So if we do it again, it'll swap these and keep these and do all of our corners. So we're syncing the corners up. So that's R2 U, R2 U prime, R2 U prime D, R2 U prime, R2 U, R2. That is the corner swap algorithm. And we can see that now we're stuck with another case here. All right. So I think what I will do is, and all the algorithms are going to be in the description. That's the corner swap algorithm, all right? Now we're going to do some, the other two algorithms we're going to use are going to be the center swap, which is a cross swap, so the edge across swap, and then the adjacent swap. Now, whatever I do to this layer is going to affect this layer too, and because this one's solved, in this case, when I have one side already done, it kind of looks like a U-perm. What I usually do is put it here, and then I do an across swap, and then I do an adjacent swap, and it fixes it. But in this case, if I do an across swap, it's also going to do an across swap down here. And then I just have an adjacent swap up here, and then a cross swap down here, which I don't want, because then I need, we're basically not going to be able to solve it like that. So what I'd like to do is have an across swap or an adjacent swap in both of the layers. So I can see that this one needs to come here. And if I do an adjacent swap, that's going to put this one here and this one here. So this will be solved, and I'll have an adjacent swap on top. If I do an adjacent swap here, it's also going to do one right here. So then I will have an adjacent swap and an adjacent swap here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do an adjacent swap here, and the algorithm is R2U, R2U, R2, 2U, R2, 2U, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2. So now you can see we've got one here like I predicted, and here. We did put parity in here, but that's okay. Now what we need to do is make these the same. So we've got the adjacent swap in the same location on both of these, and we do it again. R2U, R2U, R2, 2U, R2, 2U, R2U, R2, U prime, R2, and now you can see that we just have to go like that and it's solved. So I'm going to set up these two layers again, and we're going to go through them again. All right, so here's another case. So now this time we have the headlights on the bottom and there's no headlights on top. So we need to do, if we do a swap here, we're going to fix all of the edges, or the corners, sorry, in the second layer, but in the top layer we're only going to have two, and then that's not solvable. So just like in the first one, we're going to put these in the back, and when we do a corner swap, it's actually going to change the headlights from this color to another color and put one set of headlights here. So we'll have one set of headlights on each side. So again, we put this one in the back and we do the corner swap algorithm. R2U, R2 U prime, R2 U prime D, R2 U prime, R2 U, R2, and we can fix the bottom if we'd like. Now you can see we've got a set of headlights here, and on the bottom one we have a set of headlights here, sorry. So we put them together and we put them on the left. And now we can do the algorithm again here to swap these corners, which will fix all of the corners. So R2 U, R2 U prime, R2 U prime D, R2 U prime, R2 U, R2. Fix the bottom if you want. Now we take a look at what we have. All right, so here we have a full bar and a full bar. So let's match those up together. And because all of these have to be done now, I know that if there's full bars, it's basically a rule with cuboids. If you have a full bar and 3 out, you put the bar on the left and you do an across swap and then an adjacent swap, and that will fix the cube. Because both of the layers are now synced up in the exact same way, it'll work. So we'll do an across swap now. The algorithm is R2, U2, R2, U2, R2. Now you can see it, whoop. You can see these are fixed. We put parity in here, so we don't want to rotate the cube. We want to move those over the parity. And we do an adjacent swap. R2U, R2U, R2, 2U, R2, 2U, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2. And now you can see we can just fix them like this. All right, guys, so I think that's enough. I think, you know, you can use those algorithms to experiment your way around. You kind of know what you need to do. You have to sync things up. Hopefully that's good for you. All of the algorithms are down in the description, and I will see you on my next video.